All right, guys, Gary here. I got Jarome Iginla with the Practice the Pro event going on here in Dalmeny from Giuseppe. Welcome, Jarome.
Hey, thanks, Gary.
Thanks for being here. Awesome, great. A couple questions I just want to ask you. So, define a leader to us. You've played with some great teams. What does it mean to be a strong leader?
Oh, I think there's a lot of different styles of leadership, but I think what comes to mind first is a work ethic, a passion for what they're doing. In our sport, it's obviously hockey. So you have to have a passion and an energy, and then I think there's a lot of different ways. Some guys are more vocal, some guys are more by example, some guys mix it. But I think the first is a passion, a work ethic, determination, and love competing. I think our sport is, you got to get in there, there's one puck out there, you're battling from the corners to the front of the net, and I think competing is a big part of it, and I think it's contagious when I think of some of the best leaders I played with, they love competing.
Awesome. Well, good to know. Compete is important. Next question is, this is your second year doing this event, the Practice of the Pro with Giuseppe. How is it so important to you to have this partnership and what it means to you?
Yeah, it's a second year, and it's a partnership I'm very proud to be a part of. The game, first of all, I love hockey. I love minor hockey. I've got to coach that for the last 7 years since I retired, and I've really enjoyed that. But then what the teams, what it means. Giuseppe putting on for teams to have a contest to be good teammates, to treat each other well, but then to take it further and to try to have an impact in the community and try to be difference makers in positive ways. And I think that hockey, it brings so much from in the locker room, being able to appreciate your teammates. I love that part of it, and so that's really important. But then also some of the lessons, I think it's contagious. I think that for the team that won this year, the Dalmeny Sabres, to get out there and be involved in their community like they were, and sing Christmas carols and do that together, and hampers and fundraising event. They just did another one when they already won. So I think it's just the impact that they can have as young guys and young teams and be difference makers in a positive way. I love it a lot. A lot of things about the program.
Awesome. What was your biggest accomplishment, you feel, your favorite moment, your favorite accomplishment?
I'm very fortunate, very blessed to get to play for 20 years in the NHL. And from when I started at age 7, I always dreamed of playing in the NHL. And it was every bit as good as I could have hoped. It was fun. It was obviously a great living and get to meet some great friends and everything. So it's hard to pick one accomplishment. And the reason why I went that way is like my first game actually playing in the NHL in the playoffs with Calgary. Against the Chicago Blackhawks. I got to center on the line with Theron Fleury was right winger. It was so cool shooting on Eddie Belfour and lining up against Roenick, and the night before I'm a fan, and going in the corners against Telio. So it was one of my all-time favorite games, and I actually made the NHL. So I thought that was really, really cool. But then, Olympics, getting a chance to be part of 2002 when we won, and it was the first time in Canada in 50 years that they had won in Salt Lake. 2010 was pretty cool, getting that pressure and that it worked out well, and we won, and getting to be on the ice with Sid when he scored, and that was like pee-wee. You throw your gloves up and it was like, oh my God, and we just won. So those were really cool, but also with the Flames, getting to the Stanley Cup Finals and getting to have that run, each series being so exciting, and to see what that's about. Like, it took us a long time to get to the playoffs there when I first got to Calgary, and so even though we didn't win, it hurt not winning in the finals. It was an amazing experience and run, and the way our team came together, and we probably played pretty close to what our max was, and that was pretty cool as a player and being a part of a team like that.
That's awesome. In my opinion, you guys won. I already said that. Yeah, the puck did cross the line. 2 more questions. Who is your favorite teammate that you've played with, or one of your favorite teammates?
Oh, I'm very fortunate to play with lots of teammates. I don't think I could pick one. Some of my favorites, all this, Conroy I got to play with when he first came. He was, and I was a shooter more, right? So I really loved to play with passers, and he's a guy that loved to pass, and he was also really, really good in his defensive zone. He was a great center defensively, so we didn't have to play much there. So he was one of my favorite. Alex Tanguay was an amazing passer, loved playing with him. Some of the different guys over the years, it was neat to play with Nate McKinnon in Colorado.
Good player, yeah.
They were rebuilding and stuff, and and getting to play with him, is his enthusiasm and see his passion for it and see how good he is, and see how fast he is. It was fun, and his love of the game. I was fortunate to get to play. Kids always ask, Crosby, get to see his determination and how smart he is, and what a competitor. I got to play with him briefly, and Lucic, Milan, he was tough, and we had a great line with him and Krejci. I got to play in Boston, so I can't really pick one. But it's really neat, and a lot of guys do things a different way, and some are quiet, so it was fun. And one of the great parts of playing in the NHL is getting to play with the different personalities and different people from all over the world.
That's awesome. I love to hear that. And last question, who's your hero?
My hero, man. You asked some tough questions. My family's been a big part of my life. My mom, my dad, my grandparents. My grandpa was a big role, and both my grandparents in supporting my mom. My mom and my dad were divorced at a very young age, and I was close with both, but I lived with my mom, but she was working a lot. My dad was going to school and had a young family. So I was fortunate to have my grandparents to be able to help out, and I wouldn't have been a part of the sports. They take a lot of time, a lot of road trips,
100%.
a lot of driving. Financially, they were able to help out too. That crew I've been very blessed and very fortunate, and thank God, every day I had a family like that supported me and let me be involved in sports and hockey, because it is a big commitment as parents and family. And besides being in pro, it was awesome, but even friends and family that I got to, those experiences growing up are awesome. So I hope that answers it, but probably that group of my family there is probably my heroes.
That's a great answer. Family is the most important thing. We've heard a lot of great positive things that about your mom, that she worked her butt off to make sure that you could play hockey. So I love it. It's great. Thank you so much, Jarome. Thanks to Giuseppe Pizza as well too. A great interview, great answers. Thanks, Jarome.
Thanks, Gair.
Pleasure.
Thanks a lot.
And my last question is, what's your favorite pizza brand?
Obviously, Dr. Eckert Giuseppe Pizza.
Giuseppe.
You heard it here again. Dr. Ockert, Giuseppe Pizza.